Hello, hello. Hey, Matt, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing, Brian?
Doing all right. Hey, welcome everybody to episode 78 of the Daily BLP. I'm your host, Brian Collins. With me, almost every day as usual, is Matt Dugan from Pivot Studios. Awesome. Well, what is today? Tuesday?
Yes,
today?
sir.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
How have you been? I didn't get on yesterday. We're having some troubles with Riverside. That's the magic of the cloud.
Saw your email and kind of looked into it. It's doing a little bit of the echo right now, but I think it's manageable enough. I can just because I think you'd have to end the live, right?
Yeah, I would.
So I think it's manageable enough for now. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I saw your email. Not sure what's going on. They're still a pretty young company, so that was interesting to see. But looks like we're back to it here.
No love lost. No love lost.
Yeah.
They're affordable. They've got lots of cool options. They're adding new things. I saw something new as I logged in today. It said they've added chat-enabled editing with their AI. So
interesting.
I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll goof around with that and see what kind of weird editing I can get it to do in the AI chat. But yeah, so we are back and better than ever. So we haven't got to talk since the weekend. How was your weekend, man?
Yeah, it was good. Nothing too crazy. Caught up on a little bit of work now that kind of got the office all back in action, and then got the rest of my stuff from Colorado Springs. So just got back today from there. Also went to the dentist. No cavities. So that's great to see. So clean mouth. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, good weekend. Kind of laid low. Caught up on some work. Did some stuff around the apartment. Yes, it's been good. How about yourself?
Very cool. This weekend was volleyball tournament on Saturday. Sunday was pretty normal, except I had to go to two different churches because my daughter's school, Lutheran church, she had to sing. But volleyball tournament on Saturday, that was fun.
Nice.
My daughter's team won a couple games, lost a few more, but that's okay. There's some tough teams in their age group and division. But it was cool because all year the team's kind of been working on implementing a whole new kind of, offense and defensive strategy. I don't know a whole lot about the technicalities behind volleyball, but they've been building this whole year on implementing more than just the normal kind of rotate every time it's someone's turn to serve or something, right? And it was super complicated and tough for them in the beginning. But towards the end of the year, they got pretty darn good at it. They were punching above their weight, I would say, against athletically and more experienced volleyball players because of the way that they were handling their rotation. What it did is it allowed them to make up for the fact they had a few people that weren't very good at serving, which one of them is my daughter, at least overhead serving. And so like all year, my daughter never got a chance to serve because the coach didn't have confidence in her. So they'd do this weird kind of rotation where someone would come up, they would sub out, get someone in, and then they would stay in, then someone back out. So they had the bigger people in front, that kind of stuff. My daughter's really tall. And they got really good at it. But the last game of the season, they had this ref that was just like tracking their every movement. And they got a little out of alignment with their rotating. And it threw them all off. Girls got emotional. There was tears. Coach got mad. Switched them back to the old rotation, and then they played horribly the rest of that game, and they were worried leading up to the tournament that they were not going to do well. They did all right. It affected them a little bit, but it gave my daughter a chance to play a little bit more and rotate to different positions instead of just being in the 9 spot. And the last game, though they didn't win it, they played a team that was seeded much higher than them, and they took it to 3 games. So they won one of the 2 longer ones and then lost the last one. But she played really good, had a bunch of good hits, served like 3 good serves and stuff. So she was really happy even though they lost, and I was very proud of her. So
nice.
So that was cool. Yeah. That was a cool dad moment. Volleyball's all done. Love it. She's ready to move on to basketball. She's going to be playing on two basketball teams this year. So I don't know how excited I'm excited for her. I'm not excited for me or my wife having to cart her around, but
that's the great thing about sports. It teaches so many good, important lessons. That's why I think it's so important for young kids, teenagers, whoever, to be a part of sports. It just teaches them so many important lessons, grit and all that. So that's really cool to hear. I love that. And it's fun too.
For sure. I mean, my daughter is pretty strong-willed, and she's a girl boss, like she wants to control situations and stuff. And so she, she's only 12, butts heads, with me when I get into coaching situations with her. She wants me to play ball with her, but then she doesn't want to listen to anything I have to say. I think that's most kids and their parents. But a little bit with her coach, like she was struggling a little bit with respecting her coach's decisions for people who played at certain things and all that kind of stuff. And it really bothered my wife a little bit too. They always love when I talk about them on the show, but I like to use them as analogies towards life and business and stuff like that.
Right.
So my wife was really struggling. She loves going to games and watching them, but she hates it at the same time because she gets so internally fired up. She can barely take it. She wants to, maim a ref or shake a coach to do something else. She gets really fired up, but she bites her tongue. So she just directs that at me later. Sorry, hon, it's the truth. But my daughter was really struggling with what to do on certain things. And that same last game of the season, she didn't get benched. She started all year. But the way they rotate, people come in and out a lot. But she didn't start the last game. Another player started, and she was really upset, and emotional, and she couldn't sleep. And I went in by her room, and she's like, Dad, I'm really upset. I'm like, listen, here's what you need to do. I was bad at this when I was young. There was times when I was really uncoachable because I thought my stuff didn't stink. I said, what you need to do is listen to and respect your coach and what she's doing. She has a plan, and it's not all about you. And you need to be really happy for and support your teammate who's going in for your spot. And she said, okay, I understand, Dad. And she did. She absolutely did. She didn't have any problem the rest of that night or the next day going into that game. And then even in that game, when that player who started in her place struggled a bit and was kind of part of the reason the whole rotation got screwed up and blew everything up, when she got sat and pulled out of the game, Aria was the first person to sit down right next to her, put her arm around her, and I don't know what she said, but it kind of looked like, hey, it's going to be okay. You did a great job. It's not your fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And 1 game ago, prior to that, she might not have done that because she really struggled with getting out of her own space, as we all do selfishly when things don't go our way.
Right.
We really quick to and it's even tougher when you're younger because you haven't been through life experience yet. So I was super proud of the way she handled herself in that game, in the tournament, and now she's moving on to basketball. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, what do you got cooking this week?
Nothing too crazy. Got a new project we're working on. Where we'll be doing an actual on-site testimonial recording for one of our clients. So that'll be in Fort Collins, which is about an hour outside of Denver here north. So excited for that. And all the that's a lot of planning goes into the live shoots. So that's a lot of what I've been doing today. Just locking down our filmers, getting all the scope squared away from there, and then other than that, business as usual. Really, we finished up a really great testimonial for one of our clients. That if you're familiar with the Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS, they have implementers that are all around the country that implement this EOS. And so I've been trying to work with a lot of those implementers to because they have they get one client, and that's very big with what they charge for the implementation. So working with them on lead generation video, stuff like that. Just finished up one testimonial for an implementer and starting another one. So starting to get our catalog there and really trying to get into that ecosystem of EOS implementers. So that's another thing top of mind. So really testimonial heavy lately. It's really great because with the testimonial you can put that into action right away. You can use it right away, and it's got a lot of value add. So really been honing in there the past few weeks.
Very cool. Have you heard of the Story Brand company or the Story Brand framework for marketing?
Story Brand. It sounds familiar, but I don't want to say I do.
Apparently, it's really popular in marketing headspace circles, which I've never really been a part of because I've always been over on the sales side. But I'm forcing myself into understanding the marketing and curiosity creating stuff a little bit. And YouTube algorithm pushed this content in front of me yesterday morning, and I've been hooked on it. I watched this one video of, I think the guy's name is Dennis Miller, Donald Miller, something Miller. I'm sorry, you're never going to see this, but if I got your name wrong. But pretty important guy in the marketing space. Apparently, you know, thousands and maybe even millions of businesses has kind of used his framework to market things. And it's really about simplification and creating, you know, instead of marketing campaigns, messaging campaigns built on specific sound bites in the framework of a story, because story is what captures people. So I ran across this like 30-minute video of him kind of running through this framework, kind of training on it. And really what it is that content that gets someone hooked and then hopefully gets them to pay for their service or whatever. But I watched the video like twice in the morning and then once again in the afternoon, and did it slow and took notes on everything. That's how I kind of process things that I really want to internalize. So what I'm realizing is that we've done a really bad job of messaging with our company, and maybe, you know, and all the things that I do in the company, whether it's the podcast or, you know, different services and solutions. We've got great services and solutions, and we've got a pretty website. It's aesthetically pleasing. Our content is the same, but at the same time, we don't have really good curiosity creating sound bites that kind of take people simply through a story that results in their problem solved. Yeah. You know? And so I've been, you know, thinking about that a lot, and I've got to boil it down, and I'm probably going to not rip and replace everything, but with the way things look from a standpoint, but the way that we're messaging things and talking about things on our websites and stuff like that, build it on that simplified framework of those sound bites.
Nice. Very, very nice.
That's some cool stuff.
Yeah, we call that when we're planning videos and stuff like that. We call them storyboards. Is essentially what we do, and we go through. Like with the you know, legacy show. That's essentially a storyboard too. So we use that. I guess that framework, but I hadn't heard of. It sounded like maybe a group or something in that nature. So maybe we do it. We don't even know.
Yeah, this company has been around a while, and what their thing has been is like the guy who started it he was in this kind of field, but then he kind of retired from it. He was writing books about it. Quickly, they sold a bunch, and that turned into, he's like, all of a sudden I had like 10 staff, and we're doing trainings to train people on how to help businesses do this stuff. So it started out as that kind of company where you're training an army of people to go out and teach the framework as consultants. But now earlier this year, they launched an AI platform called Storybrand.ai, and you can, implement this framework by leveraging these AI tools that they've trained to do it. And so there's a free trial part of it that can do some of it to try to get you hooked. And pricing wise, it's not very expensive. And this whole AI can build out all this messaging stuff that normally you'd have to sit down with a consultant and your staff, and over the course of a few months, kind of work through these things and implement them into your websites and your campaigns and your content creation and your videos and your webinars and all that stuff. Nice. So that's what I'm looking at.
Cool.
And it's really not cost prohibitive. It seems relatively cheap compared to a lot of things. So we'll see.
Nice.
I talk about these things a lot, and sometimes I just never get around to actually doing them. What else is going on? You got anything else? You be doing any traveling or any fun stuff?
Not as of right now. Going to a wedding back in Charlotte, North Carolina. Was it the start of November? I believe the 7th. So that'll be cool. I haven't been back to Charlotte since I moved there, so that'll be cool to do that. And then we'll be going to the Celebrity Poker Tour Championship. That's mid-November. And then family's coming here this year for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas I will go back home. So really got a little bit of traveling. Just about two trips in November and then one in December planned. So I love traveling. So and now it's nice. I live right by Union Station, so I can literally just hop on the train and it'll take you right to the airport. So really nice. Cool. Save some money there too.
That's cool. So is the poker deal going to be back in Vegas again?
Yep. So it'll be at the same exact location, because what it's called the Poker Go Studio. So it's actually a crazy production studio, and they have all these tables, and that's where a lot of poker tournaments are held, because of just
it's got everything there, right?
Yeah. So it's really cool environment. So it'll be there, which is at the Aria is the location.
That's so funny. That's obviously my daughter's name, one of my daughter's names.
Yeah.
But I remember when we went back in, because it's not that old of a hotel. It hasn't been around that crazy long. It's a beautiful, very sophisticated looking hotel.
It really is.
Very upscale feeling, not necessarily, doesn't feel themed. It just feels High Line, right?
Yep.
And I remember when we were back there last time we was in Vegas was 2018 before our third daughter. We had our third daughter, and we were just kind of walking everywhere during the day, and we got over in that section, the Aria, and a couple of those other hotels like it that are in that little section. And yeah, that's very much kind of where the ritzy shopping center is and stuff like that. So that's cool.
Yep. Yeah, very nice, very big. I got lost in that casino when I was trying to find the studio. And they're like, "Oh, it's over by the poker room." You walk for 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Where the heck is this place?" And then they're like, "You got to go this." And I'm like, they need to like put it on a piece of paper, because he was like, "Take this left and take this right, then you're gonna go down these stairs, not those stairs, those stairs." And I was like, "Okay, hold the phone."
Or just give me a guide.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give me a guide. It's so crazy when you're in Vegas. Like, you'll see a bridge, or you'll see a set of stairs, or where you need to go, and you're like,
"Yep,
I have to go back that way and over that way to go that way," because everything's kind of like intertwined and connected in a weird way. It's not just I can just walk directly there and cross the street or something.
Yep.
So that's cool. We are in the midst of starting to get things packed up here at the office. We're moving about 10 miles west of our current office into a nice spot. It's finally happening. So pretty excited about that. So we'll be getting some new digs, some new permanent digs pretty soon.
Nice. Love that.
So there's going to be somewhat of a transitional period for the show, depending on how long it takes us to do that. We're going to have probably about a week, 4 days to a week to get it done. It won't take us that long. So I'll get my office moved, and then I'll get all this stuff moved. So maybe we might miss a day or so.
Cool.
But it won't be too bad. Maybe we'll depend. It's going to be depending on how busy it is and how much I've got to use my own physical labor to move stuff during the move to whether or not I'll have time to. But if not, then we'll just do the show remotely or something from my laptop or whatever.
Sounds good to me. Good luck on the move. I know what moving's like. I just did it. So
right.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Yours is a little bit longer. It's not too far. We're just gonna have some guys throw everything in a truck and
you got everyone too. You got a whole team that can kind of load stuff up too, which is nice.
Yeah, it won't be too bad.
Cool. Good stuff.
But what do you think about the baseball situation?
Well, it was the opposite of
right?
But no, I mean, heck of a game. The past few Mariners games, it was crazy. I think it was what was it? I saw some stat. I don't know if it was the first or they're in the list now where they lost the series after winning the first two on the road. Which is interesting. They lost a lot of games at home.
That's just it's not unheard of, but it's rare. It's where you're up 2-0. You've got all the momentum. You're going home. And you you decide to lose all the home games as opposed to the Dodgers just sweeping the Brewers.
Yep.
So we didn't get any part of what we wanted. It
should be a good World Series. I mean, two powerhouse teams. I think the Blue Jays really got a good team on their hands, so should be really great to watch. I don't know, has Ohtani been to a World Series? I know he's been in the playoffs, but has Ohtani been to one?
Well, was he active when they won last year?
Yes, he has. In 2024, he went to the World Series. So he has won. Okay.
Yeah. So that was I remember they won last year. I didn't watch any of it, so I didn't know if he was maybe injured or something. But yeah, he's a killer. It's funny. People are telling me like, man, what are the chances that someone from Japan is like the best player now and possibly the best player ever? I go, pretty high. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, we take baseball kind of seriously here, but in Japan, it's unquestionably the number one sport.
Yeah, right. It really is. It's really interesting, some of those games and the whole the pitching there, within in Japan. I mean, you even see it now. Just the way I think I see it too is they are very good at getting the most out of their players, but also doing it in the healthiest way. Like you don't really see too many injuries. They're very mechanical and the way you're supposed to do things, and that's what I've picked up. Players that come from Japan or even foreign players like from the Dominican Republic. It's very too. So their mechanics are really good and they're very analytical with analytical maybe the wrong word, but very like they know the method. There's a method to their madness, and they really stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, during baseball season for my kids when I was coaching, I was on a lot of pages and watching a lot of videos and stuff like that to help out with, practice and stuff. And then I just started getting a ton of videos showing what, starting at a very young age, folks in Japan do from a standpoint of regimented practice. It's, and the way they do things. It's robotics, the wrong word, but very fundamentally sound, like what you were explaining. And, teaching process, boom, 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 like step, 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 boom, and consistency, because one of the things in baseball that you need to be successful is the ability to be consistent over the course of a long season, a long game, a long series, and be able to, really concentrate, not get over emotional, not let your head get shaken. One thing you just never see out of, is they have a way of not outwardly showing any emotion about the difficulty of the situation, and then like a big game or anything. It's just like they know what they got to do and they're going to do it.
Yep.
I think a lot of that is, built out of their culture and the way they live, and whether it's a regimented or a very trained or disciplined lifestyle. I think that's one big part of it.
Yep. Yeah. And they won the world. What is it called? The World Baseball Classic too. It was USA. I remember. I think they closed it out where it was funny. It was Mike Trout was up to bat and Ohtani struck him out, and that was when they were both on the Angels together. So no, I mean, they know what they're doing over there. They're doing it well, and like you said, it's huge over there. That's why I think you don't see so many Japanese players maybe over here because they have a league over there. They don't need to.
Right, and they're live a great. It's the best of the best that end up wanting to come over here and maybe have something to prove. Exactly. Not even that, they just get a really big lucrative contract that lures them over. So I mean, the MLB is still where all the best players come to play baseball, like all the best players come to the NBA to play basketball. And whether that'll always be the case, I don't know, but it still is. It's just that's where the eyeballs are, I think. And the legacy and the legendary teams, and even over there, I'm willing to bet they have all their national teams that play in their league, but I bet you they've all heard of the Yankees. I bet you they've all heard of the Dodgers. I bet you they've all heard of the White Sox and the Red Sox and all the teams that have been popular throughout history. So
100%.
I think it's fantastic. So I think they bring something to the game that we don't have without it. Like I remember when Ichiro came into the league, early 2000s. That was awesome. I remember, oh, come on. Why is his name failing me? You would have been pretty young. He had a really crazy pitching windup and delivery.
It wasn't Hideki Matsui, was it?
Matsui. Okay. I think it was Matsui. And they said he had the screwball or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that his thing?
Yeah, I think so.
It was not really a thing, but it was just like, his legend preceded him with that. But when it started getting big in late 90s, early 2000s, it was cool to watch somebody so different in the way they played the game be successful. So.
Yep. Yeah, it made me think when you mentioned screwball. We don't really. I think the last guy I know is R.A. Dickey, if you remember him, of the knuckleball throws. I don't think there's any knuckleballers really right now.
Yeah, it's funny. The kids, when I coach, I don't throw a good knuckleball, but I know how to throw one. And when I pull that out during BP or anything, they always get a big old smile on their face, especially if they miss it. They're like, oh.
Yep. There's one. It says Matt Waldron of the San Diego Padres, the only one in the MLB right now.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Maybe it's just one of those pitches that people have figured out and that aren't as useful as what it used to be. I don't know. But yeah, so World Series time. I'm afraid to pick someone to pull for because it's not working out for that team. I don't want to give anybody the the curse of the BLP pick or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The curse.
So what else before we wind up here? Got another new client last night / this morning, so that was good. just one been working for a little bit on the RCM side of things. He called back and he's like, hey, I want to work with you guys. Can we adjust this? So I made a little adjustment in our deal, negotiated that a little bit, but I think it's fair. So that's good. So that's 3 in the last week or so. You keep doing all the things you need to do from a business growth standpoint. You got to be putting new things into the funnel. You got to be working them, and you just kind of continue to march on. And we were in a valley there for a little bit where we weren't getting a lot of wins, and now we've racked up a couple in a row. So that feels really good.
Yep. Cooking with gas. Keep it going.
Yeah, cooking with gas. Cooking with propane.
Yep.
So yeah. So business keeps trucking along, but that's about all I've got for today.
Yeah. Yep.
Good to go?
Good day. Good talking to you. Good seeing you. Glad to hear things with business are booming, which is great to see. And great seeing all you guys out there at the BLP as well.
All right, everybody. We're going to wrap up episode number 78 of the Daily BLP. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.